Have you ever felt your heart race when facing something unknown? Picture this: you're standing at the edge of a diving board. Below, the water sparkles under the sunlight, but your mind plays tricks. You worry about how deep it is, or if you'll make a splash. Those few seconds seem like a lifetime, and as you look down, fear grips you. You might hesitate, thinking of all the things that could go wrong. This moment is a simple, everyday fear, but it represents something larger: our struggle with uncertainty. Now think about the times you've had to make tough decisions. Perhaps it was choosing the right path in school or figuring out how to support a friend who was feeling low. The fear of failure can loom large, stealing our confidence and ability to step forward. It's uncomfortable to admit, but many of us feel like we're walking through a fog, unsure of every step. We may think we're alone in these feelings, but the truth is, everyone experiences fear. Jesus recognized this. He walked among those who were afraid, from his disciples caught in a terrifying storm to individuals worrying about their daily lives. With deep compassion, he often reassured them with the words, "Fear not." Imagine hearing those words amidst your worries. It's not just a command, it's an invitation to trust someone greater than our fears. When Jesus spoke these powerful words, he knew that life could be overwhelming. In our daily struggles, whether it's feeling lonely in a crowded room or anxious about an upcoming test, we can remember that we are not alone. Jesus faced misunderstandings and challenges too, yet he showed us how to trust and embrace God's love even in uncertainty. Let's take a step back and think about one of his most telling moments, the calming of the storm. Picture Jesus sleeping peacefully in the boat while his friends panicked around him as the waves crashed over the sides. They woke him up, terrified they would drown. Instead of focusing on their fears, Jesus looked at them and said, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" This story reminds us that while fear is part of being human, there is strength in faith. It encourages us to reach toward trust instead of letting fear control our thoughts and actions. Life is much like that diving board. It can feel scary as we prepare to dive into new experiences or challenges. Yet what if we took that leap believing we were supported? When we hear Jesus say, "Fear not," it's a gentle nudge reminding us that there is always hope beyond our fears. As we reflect on these words today, think about your own fears. What small steps can you take to embrace courage instead? Remember that Jesus encourages us not to let fear hold us back from living fully and joyfully. You are not alone in your struggles. Hope and love are always within reach. As we reflect on our fears and uncertainties, it's important to remember a powerful message that Jesus shared with his followers: "Fear not." This phrase is not just a simple command, it is a heartfelt reminder spoken more times than any other message during his time on earth. But why did he emphasize these words so much? In a world filled with challenges, doubt, and confusion, fear can often feel like a heavy cloak, weighing us down. Jesus understood this struggle profoundly. He walked alongside people who were anxious and afraid. Think about it, his disciples faced storms of doubt, both literally in the boat and metaphorically in their lives as they followed him. Whenever they found themselves worried or scared, Jesus' response was not to scold them but to comfort them with those reassuring words, "Fear not." When he spoke these words, it was his way of inviting them, and us, to let go of anxiety and embrace faith instead. Consider a moment in the Bible when Jesus was walking on water toward his disciples. They were terrified, thinking they were seeing a ghost. Yet what did he say to them? "Take courage. It is I, don't be afraid." In that moment, he wasn't just calming the storm outside, he was calming the storm within them. The essence of Jesus' message is about trust. It's an invitation to open our hearts and believe that we are held in something greater than our fears. When we hear "fear not," it's as if he is gently taking our hands and saying, "I am here with you, you do not have to face this alone." Let's look at another instance that illustrates his comforting nature. In moments of deep sorrow, like when Martha expressed her grief over her brother Lazarus' death, Jesus responded with compassion and love. Although the situation seemed hopeless, he reminded her of the hope that exists in faith. He didn't just come to console her, he came to reveal a deeper truth, that even in death, there is life through belief in him. These examples show us that Jesus proactively addressed fear because he knew how easily it could overshadow our faith. He sought to replace worry with hope, reminding us that uncertainty doesn't have to rule our lives. Instead of focusing on what frightens us, we are encouraged to focus on what uplifts and strengthens us. As we continue our journey today, think about how often fear creeps into your thoughts and decisions, whether it's fear of failure, rejection, or even the unknown future. What would happen if you took those fears and replaced them with faith? When Jesus said, "Fear not," he was giving us permission to trust that there is a plan beyond our understanding. So, as you face your own fears this week, remember his words. Let them resonate in your heart and mind, fear not. Allow those words to guide you toward courage and peace as you navigate life's challenges, knowing you are never alone in your journey. As we explore the message of fear not, it's important to look at the rich biblical context that surrounds these powerful words. Jesus did not simply tell people to stop being afraid, he demonstrated his understanding of their fears through his actions and teachings. Throughout the Gospels, we see moments where he reached out to comfort his followers during their most anxious times. One memorable instance is when Jesus calmed the storm on the Sea of Galilee. Picture this scene: the disciples are in a small boat as fierce winds whip the waves into a frenzy. Fear grips them as they believe they are about to drown. Amidst their panic, Jesus is asleep in the boat. When they finally wake him, they cry out, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" What does Jesus do? He stands up and commands the wind and waves to be still, saying, "Quiet. Be still." Suddenly, there is a great calm. In that moment, he turns to his disciples and asks, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" This encounter teaches us that while storms can rage around us, we have the ability to trust in something greater than our circumstances. Jesus acknowledges their fear but gently nudges them toward faith. His presence alone brings peace, showing that we can find solace even amidst the chaos. Another significant moment happens before Jesus is born. Imagine Mary's feelings when she learns she will give birth to the Son of God. She's frightened by the angel's message and worried about how she would explain this miracle to Joseph and her community. Yet, the angel reassures her with the words, "Do not be afraid, Mary, you have found favor with God." This divine reassurance reminds us that even in our most bewildering moments, we are not alone. God has a purpose for us, and our fears do not define our journey. Then there's Joseph, who also faced uncertainty when he learned about Mary's pregnancy. He could have reacted with anger or fear but instead listened when an angel appeared to him in a dream saying, "Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary home as your wife." Here again, we see how God intervenes in our worries and provides clarity in moments of confusion. These stories illustrate that Jesus' message of "fear not" is woven throughout the fabric of biblical narrative. It shows up during storms and life-altering news alike. Jesus understands our fears intimately because he lived among those who were anxious and uncertain. As we reflect on these moments today, let's consider how we can draw strength from them. Just as Jesus reassured his disciples and comforted Mary and Joseph, he calls us to surrender our fears into his hands. Remember that even in life's most turbulent times or when facing unexpected changes, his promise remains, "Fear not." Let this truth inspire you to trust profoundly in him and embrace each day with renewed courage and hope. As we dive deeper into understanding fear, it's essential to recognize how this powerful emotion affects our lives today. Fear is a natural human response. It can protect us by signaling danger or giving us the adrenaline needed to face challenges. However, fear can also become a heavy burden that holds us back from embracing all that life has to offer. Think about how fear has shaped both historical events and personal experiences. For example, throughout history, there have been moments when fear led people to take extraordinary actions or, at times, to freeze in uncertainty. Consider the story of the Israelites, who stood before the Red Sea with the Egyptian army closing in behind them. Their fear was palpable as they questioned whether they would survive. Yet, in their most desperate moment, God parted the sea, allowing them to pass through safely. This powerful narrative illustrates that while fear can paralyze us, faith in something greater can lead us through even the most daunting challenges. In modern times, fear can show up as anxiety about our future, concerns over health issues, or worries about our relationships. We often find ourselves overwhelmed by what-ifs. What if I don't get accepted into that school? What if I lose my job? What if I get sick? Such questions swirl in our minds, often leading to sleepless nights and a feeling of being stuck. These feelings are not unique to us today, they echo the struggles many have faced throughout history. Anxiety has been a part of the human experience across cultures and generations. In response, Jesus' message echoes through time, "Fear not." His words encourage us to confront our fears instead of letting them define our lives. Let's take a moment to reflect on some common fears we all face. Fear of failure is one we encounter regularly. Whether it's trying something new like auditioning for a play or taking on a leadership role at work, the thought of failing can stop us cold. Yet overcoming this fear often leads to personal growth and opens doors we didn't know existed. Another common fear is loneliness. Many might feel isolated in a crowded world or fearful of being alone in their struggles. The truth is, even in those feelings of isolation, we are reminded that Jesus was surrounded by people yet still understood what it means to feel alone. He reached out to the marginalized and lonely, making profound connections that brought comfort and reassurance. Moreover, fear of rejection plays a significant role in our relationships. Whether we are hesitant to express our true feelings or afraid of what others might think, this fear can hinder meaningful connections. Yet Jesus embraces everyone, rebels, sinners, and followers alike, reminding us that love transcends these barriers. As you consider these aspects of fear, ask yourself, how often do these fears impact your actions? Remember that accepting fear is part of being human, but it does not have to dictate your choices. Embracing Jesus' message of "fear not" can serve as a powerful reminder to lean into faith amidst uncertainty. Trust that every time you step past your fears, you are moving closer to living a life filled with purpose and joy. Let this message encourage you to acknowledge your fears without letting them overwhelm you. With each challenge, believe deeply in the assurance that comes from faith and the strength it provides to face whatever lies ahead. As we delve into the spiritual significance of Jesus' message, "Fear not," it's essential to understand that these words hold a profound meaning that resonates deeply with our hearts and souls. At its core, this message is about trust. It is an invitation for us to place our faith in God's unwavering love and presence, guiding us through life's uncertainty and challenges. Consider the times we feel overwhelmed by fear, when life presents obstacles that seem insurmountable, when we're faced with tough decisions, or when we're walking down dark paths. In these moments, it's easy to become fixated on our worries and lose sight of the hope that surrounds us. Yet, Jesus steps into our chaos, urging us to look beyond our fears and to anchor ourselves in faith. In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus speaks directly to his followers, reminding them of God's care. He uses the example of birds in the sky, explaining that they do not sow or reap, yet God feeds them. Jesus asks, "Are you not much more valuable than they?" This verse illuminates one of the most comforting aspects of his message: God watches over us. We are cherished in his sight, and he provides for our needs even when we can't see how or when help will come. This assurance is particularly significant because it acknowledges the very real struggles we face. Each time Jesus says, "Fear not," he speaks to our deep-seated anxieties with kindness and understanding. His repeated command communicates that we do not need to walk alone, he is with us every step of the way. It's a reminder that God's love is vast and unchanging, offering us a firm foundation on which to build our lives. When we reflect on the story of Martha and Lazarus, we see this beautifully illustrated. After Lazarus had died, Martha expressed her grief and confusion to Jesus, doubting if anything could change now. Jesus replies with deep compassion, saying, "I am the resurrection and the life." In this moment, he reassures Martha not only about Lazarus' future but also about the profound love and power of God that transcends death itself. Jesus calls her, and us, to trust beyond what our eyes can see or what our hearts can feel. The spiritual significance of "fear not" also extends into living moments of faith every day. Each decision we make can be influenced by either fear or trust. When fear grips us, it encourages stagnation, but faith inspires action. Reflecting on this truth allows us to acknowledge our fears without being paralyzed by them. Instead of allowing fear to dictate our choices, Jesus opens a path where we can embrace courage. As you navigate your own life's challenges, remember that Jesus' words resonate through time: "Fear not." Let this message guide you toward a deeper trust in God's love and presence amid your daily struggles. Embrace this loving assurance as you embark on your own journey, believing that you are never alone in facing whatever life brings you. Allow his promise to sink deep into your heart: you are loved, you are valued, and his presence holds you through every storm. Choose faith as your foundation, and let each step forward be a testament to the strength found in trusting him completely. To truly understand the power of Jesus' message, "Fear not," it can be helpful to hear the stories of those who have faced fear in their lives and found comfort in his words. Real-life testimonies remind us that we are not alone in our struggles and that faith can guide us through the toughest of times. Take, for instance, the story of a woman named Sarah. A few years ago, she faced a daunting health scare, she was diagnosed with a serious illness that required immediate treatment. The news felt like a storm had suddenly entered her life, bringing waves of fear and uncertainty. Would she recover? How would this affect her family? These thoughts consumed her, leaving her feeling lost and alone. In the midst of her fear, Sarah remembered Jesus' words about peace and trust. She sought solace through prayer, reaching out to friends and family for support. One night, while reading the Bible, she stumbled upon the verse, "Cast all your anxieties on him because he cares for you." Tears filled her eyes as she felt an overwhelming sense of calm wash over her. In that moment, she chose to cling to Jesus' promise rather than being consumed by fear. Sarah's journey reminded her that God was with her through every pain and uncertainty. As she underwent treatment, she realized that each day brought new challenges, but also moments of hope and gratitude. Instead of allowing fear to dictate her story, she embraced trust in God's plan and found strength in community prayer. Today, Sarah is not only recovered but transformed. Her experience deepened her faith and allowed her to inspire others facing similar hurdles. Another powerful testimony comes from James, a college student preparing for his final exams. As the deadline approached, feelings of anxiety overwhelmed him. What if he didn't pass? What if he let his family down? It was during one sleepless night that he recalled Jesus saying, "Do not worry about tomorrow." This simple reminder instilled a sense of peace within him. James decided to take action instead of succumbing to paralysis by fear. He reached out to his professors for help and formed study groups with classmates. Throughout this time, he kept reflecting on Jesus' assurance, he was capable and did not have to face these challenges alone. When exam day arrived, he felt much calmer knowing he'd done his best. Ultimately, James not only passed but discovered newfound confidence in himself, a victory fueled by faith over fear. These personal stories illustrate that fear not is more than just words, it is an invitation to lean into trust during life's uncertainties. Whether you are navigating health challenges like Sarah or academic pressures like James, remember that countless others have walked similar paths before you. Today, as you hear these testimonies, reflect on your own experiences with fear. Consider how Jesus' message might resonate in your life right now. Are there areas where you feel anxious or uncertain? Embrace this understanding. Just as Sarah found comfort in prayer and community support and James turned anxiety into action through faith, so too can you reclaim courage through trusting God. Allow His words, "Fear not," to echo in your heart as you face your own storms. Trust that His love will guide you through uncertainty towards hope and purpose. Remember that every step taken in faith brings you closer to true peace and joy amidst life's challenges. Now that we've explored powerful stories of overcoming fear through faith, it's important to discuss practical steps we can take to apply Jesus' teachings in our lives. Fear can often feel overwhelming, but by leaning into our faith and using the tools available to us, we can navigate through it more effectively. Let's look at some practical steps you can take to overcome fear and embrace the message of fear not. First and foremost, prayer is a vital practice. When anxiety begins to cloud your thoughts, take a moment to pause and pray. Seek God's guidance and comfort, reminding yourself that you are turning over your worries to Him. Like Sarah during her health crisis, prayer can create a tranquil space where you can express your fears and experience God's peace. You might even consider keeping a prayer journal where you write down your fears alongside the blessings you recognize in your life. This practice not only helps release negative thoughts but also allows you to see God's faithfulness as you document His answers. Secondly, community support plays an essential role in overcoming fear. Surrounding yourself with friends or loved ones who uplift and encourage you is crucial. Don't hesitate to share your struggles with them. Often, just vocalizing our fears lessens their power over us. Jesus modeled the importance of community by gathering His disciples around Him for support and encouragement. Sometimes, simply knowing that others are praying for us or standing beside us can provide immense comfort. Consider joining a support group or a church fellowship where you can connect with others who may be experiencing similar fears. By sharing experiences and offering mutual encouragement, the burden of fear becomes lighter. Moreover, engaging in technology today makes it easy to connect with broader communities online where people gather to pray together. Next, meditation on Scripture is another powerful tool for combating fear. The Bible is filled with promises that remind us of God's love and presence in our lives. Set aside time each day to meditate on verses that speak directly to fear and anxiety. A few impactful passages include Philippians 4 verses 6 to 7, which encourages us not to be anxious but to present our requests to God, or Isaiah 41 verse 10, which reassures us that God is with us and will strengthen us in times of trouble. You might memorize these verses or write them on sticky notes to place around your home as constant reminders of His promises. By focusing on His Word, you become fortified against anxiety's grip. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of action. Taking small steps forward despite your fears can lead to significant change over time. If you're afraid of facing a challenging situation, be it at work or in relationships, try breaking it down into manageable pieces rather than viewing it as one massive hurdle. This approach allows you to act with courage instead of avoiding what frightens you. In closing, know that overcoming fear is a journey, not an overnight transformation. Jesus' message of "Fear not" is an open invitation for us to walk forward in trust rather than being paralyzed by anxiety. Use these practical steps: prayer, community support, meditation on Scripture, and action, to create a solid foundation of faith upon which to stand firm against fear. As you take these steps throughout your life's challenges, remember that Jesus walks with you every step along the way. Embrace His love, let it fill you with peace as you choose courage over fear each day ahead. As we come to the final part of our exploration into Jesus' message of "Fear not," it's vital to take a moment for personal reflection. Each of us faces different fears in our lives, some deeply rooted and others more situational. Whether it's the fear of failure, rejection, loneliness, or even fear of the unknown, these feelings are part of our shared human experience. It's time to pause and honestly consider what fears hold you back. Imagine standing on that diving board again, looking down into the water below. What thoughts race through your mind? Are they filled with doubts about yourself or concern over what others might think? Now, think about how often those worries prevent you from taking the leap into something new and exciting. Jesus invites us to recognize these moments of hesitation and to replace them with trust. Reflect on specific fears that may be weighing on your heart today. Are there tasks at work that seem daunting? Perhaps you're facing a tough decision in a relationship or feeling anxious about your health. These fears can feel isolating, as if you're standing alone on that diving board. But remember, you are never alone in this journey. Jesus is by your side, offering His hand and encouraging you to step forward. Now, let's consider how we can apply Jesus' comforting words into our everyday lives. One approach is to practice gratitude. When fear surfaces, take a moment to write down 3 things you are grateful for in your life. This simple act can shift your focus from anxiety to appreciation, reminding you of the blessings that already surround you. Another powerful tool is to visualize trust. Create a mental image of yourself stepping boldly into the waters of your fear, whether it's making that tough phone call, having that heartfelt conversation, or taking a risk in your career. Picture yourself not only surviving the leap but thriving afterward. This visualization technique helps reinforce the belief that you can face your fears with courage and faith. Additionally, remember the importance of community. Reach out to friends, family, or support groups where you can share what weighs on your heart. As we discussed earlier, verbalizing these fears can lessen their impact and help you gain strength from those who care about you. Sharing your journey and struggles makes you realize how interconnected we all are in our experiences. Finally, take time each day to meditate on Scripture that speaks to your fears. Choose verses that resonate with you, perhaps Isaiah 41 verse 10, which reassures us not to fear because God is with us. Allow these words to become a source of strength and comfort as you go about your day. In closing, reflect on how far you can go when you choose faith over fear. Jesus' constant message of "Fear not" is an invitation to live boldly and embrace life with confidence. Allow His love to fill your heart and guide you through challenges, knowing that every step taken in faith brings more peace and joy into your life. As you face each new day, carry this truth with you: you have the power to choose courage over fear, and Jesus walks beside you every step of the way. Embrace His message fully, let it echo in your heart and inspire you to leap into all that awaits you with faith and trust. As we wrap up our journey through Jesus' powerful message of "Fear not," I invite you to take a moment and truly reflect on what this means for you personally. Throughout this video, we've explored the depths of fear and how it can hold us back from the fullness of life. We've seen how Jesus addressed fear with compassion, reminding us that we are not alone in our struggles. Now, it's time to take that understanding and turn it into action. Imagine standing once more at the edge of that diving board. The water below represents all the unknowns and challenges that life throws your way. It might feel intimidating, but remember, every leap requires a little faith. When Jesus encourages us to fear not, He is not just asking us to disregard our feelings, He is inviting us to trust in something greater than ourselves. Think about your own life right now. What fears are holding you back? Is it the fear of failure that stops you from pursuing your dreams? Maybe it's the fear of rejection that keeps you from opening your heart to others. Whatever it is, I encourage you to name that fear and bring it to light. Acknowledging our fears is the first step toward overcoming them. Now, imagine replacing those fears with faith. Picture yourself taking a bold step forward, trusting that God is with you in every moment. Embrace the assurance that comes from knowing Jesus walks alongside you, offering his hand as you navigate the waters of uncertainty. This isn't just a comforting thought, it's an invitation to transformation. As you go about your week, carry with you the mantra, "Fear not." Let it resonate in your mind and heart. When moments of anxiety arise, pause and repeat these words to yourself: "I will not let fear control me." Instead of allowing doubt to dictate your choices, let faith guide you toward possibility. Consider actively seeking moments where you can embrace courage over fear. Perhaps there's a relationship that needs mending or a passion project you've been putting off. Take small steps each day toward those goals, whether that's reaching out to someone for support or dedicating time to your dreams. Each step taken in faith brings you closer to living a life filled with joy and purpose. Furthermore, lean into community. Surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you, who remind you of God's love during times of uncertainty. Share your fears with them, for in vulnerability lies strength. As we conclude, remember that Jesus' message of "fear not" is more than a phrase, it's a powerful call to action, a reminder that when we trust in God's plan, we can embrace life fully. You are loved beyond measure, and God has a purpose for your journey. So today, I challenge you, embrace this message wholeheartedly. Step out in faith, letting go of what holds you back. Trust that every leap into the unknown can lead to beautiful discoveries and deeper connections with those around you. Let His love fill your heart and guide your actions as you choose courage over fear every day ahead. With each leap of faith, remember, you are never alone, God is with you every step of the way. Embrace His promise and approach life with renewed hope and joy.